I don't think my ears have recovered yet from the AC/DC kickoff of the North American Tour in Minneapolis.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh.
So is that where the raspiness in your voice still comes from, or
that
just
too.
a little cough?
Yeah.
You're like, I can't shake this thing. I've
The
had it for what
allergies.
seems like forever.
And here's the thing. I thought when I went to a Ted Nugent concert, that was one of the bigger collections of camouflage I've seen.
Yeah.
AC/DC was a close second.
Wow.
There was a lot of camouflage fans watching AC/DC 2 Thursdays ago in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. So are they're probably also in their turkey season. So, all the hunting stuff is clean. Everybody's, they've got to have a turkey season happening right around now. So everybody's got to be in that mode. And
I would think so. Here's the thing, Wags.
And it's okay because turkeys can't smell. So you can go to a venue like that. You can spill alcohol. You could be around smokers or dippers or anything like that, and you have nothing to worry about.
Dippers. I don't know. If there was smoking, it was
not a cigarette.
No, it wasn't.
It was not a cigarette.
Everybody has said to me, so what was the concert like, right? Well, number one, going into this that AC/DC does not do a ballad. They don't do them, right?
Right.
And Drew and KB are music connoisseurs on the show, right? Or on the station. So they said to me earlier this week, they're like, so how was it? I go, it was at least top 5 all time for me.
Okay.
A couple of takeaways. One, Brian Johnson is 77 years old, and he still sounds great. And he went for 3 hours. Angus, their lead guitarist, who you can argue is one of the best guitarists in the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Angus did a 25-minute guitar solo.
Wow.
About 2.5 hours in the show, and he's only 70.
Wow.
The funniest part about the whole night, though, right? Everybody, do either one of you guys have one of those Apple Watches that monitors everything in your life?
I have a Garmin watch, which basically.
How about
does
you,
the
Wags?
same
Do you have one of those?
Hell, no, I'm looking.
I like that
got
he
a
just
phone.
laughs.
Yeah.
He just laughs.
He's got an hourglass taped to his wrist. I should have known. So those Apple Watches, they monitor everything, right? Your blood pressure, whatever, how many steps you've taken, and that type of stuff. So my buddy Jason, who's with us, halfway through the show, shows me his watch. The watch says, you have been listening to more than 100 decibels for over 2 hours. You should find relief soon.
Interesting. Because I know they have I think there's also like a heart rate warning and just some of those things. The Garmin watches don't do that, but yeah. Well, that's what happens at a rock show.
The best way I can describe it is this. So the first song, when they started, it was like you got punched in the face.
Okay.
And you got pummeled for 3 hours. And there was a point late in the night where we're like, okay, no mas. We're like Roberto Duran, man. We're like, no mas, Wags. We're like, no, we can't. We're done, right? And, of course, how do they finish the concert? If you know AC/DC music, you'll know the song. For those about to rock, we salute you. And cannons go off, right? So we've listened to these iconic guys for 3 hours. What's the last song they play? For those about to rock. And they have a full line of cannons beyond the stage.
Wow.
And they're going off as
Oh, my God.
What do they open with? Did they open with Hell's Bells?
No, they opened up If You Want Blood, You Got It. That's the song they've opened up. But the cool thing about it was the first date on the North American tour. First time they played the United States in 9 years. Wow. So you can tell these guys were pumped up for it. So, all right. So this is Tailgate Talk. It is not the rock block here with the fellas. So that's where I was doing that little R&R as well. You guys were out and about. Active turkey season is underway. Any good things to talk about? Anything to report?
It's exciting because here we are. We're back in season already. We talked about the youth season last week. It's fun. It's a fun time because you start to see a lot of those pictures again on like the Wisconsin Rut Report Facebook pages, and all your friends are starting to post pictures. And I have not been out yet, but this upcoming week is my season. So I'm excited about that.
Don't forget to take your gun off safety.
Cautiously optimistic. No, you know what? I just decided, my dear friend Paul Wagner is just kind enough to let me come out there. And I talked to another friend of mine about, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to take the bow? Am I going to take the shotgun? Because I kicked myself last year during deer season because I had turkeys 6 feet in front of me, 10 feet in front of me that I could have easily taken my first turkey last year. And I kicked myself because I didn't have my bow with me. I just had the rifle, which didn't really help anyways. I'm going to just walk out with both. So if I have an opportunity for one or the other, I mean, I'm going to make the conscious decision of, okay, if this bird is at 30 yards, I'm going to use the shotgun. If it comes in closer, I'm going to use my bow. I know that I'm very, very confident with my bow. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's pellets, it's bird shot. So, with the shotgun, it shouldn't be too bad, but I don't know. I'm going to just bring both and I'm going to just see what happens, but I'm going to err on the side of caution.
So both of you guys are bow guys. I'm going to start with you, Wags. Do you get greater satisfaction out of shooting a turkey, in this case, with a bow compared to a gun, or it doesn't matter?
I've never shot a turkey with a bow. I've never, when I turkey hunt for so many years, this is the first, these last few years, putting up a blind for Tasker to sit in this blind and me to sit in, and other people that come over to the place and hunt in these blinds. I never did that. I always, threw my vest on with a little pad for my ass, and I leaned up against a tree. And you know what? And then kept the gun on my knee. I mean, I was always out there. I was always in the field picking ticks or, feeling stuff and around. So I've never even imagined taking my bow out until now. But no, I just basically go out. I like to watch. I like to see when people harvest. I like to see excitement and stuff like that. So I think I'm just going to stick with my shotgun. I'm going to go out with the shotgun when I do decide to go out, and I'm going to watch everybody else shoot turkeys.
Yeah. And I think that's what most people. I mean, we even had Nick in, a month ago or 6 weeks ago or whenever that was, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fine, but it's not like deer. It's not like deer where there is certainly a greater challenge with shooting anything with a bow, but it's not like deer where that is like the ultimate of the ultimate. We're not worried about shooting a huge monster buck with your bow over your gun. Whereas with turkeys, it's like you just want to get a bird, and if it happens to have, nice hooks on it, or if it's got a nice big beard or whatever, I think that's kind of the feeling that I get from a lot of people. Quite honestly, I feel like my bow is my safety crutch because I feel so much more confident with that. Mm-hmm. So I would prefer to just have both. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to get a bird. I mean, I don't really care. I just would be happy either way.
When you get into this business, meaning sports talk, there's always that dry period, and you come up with these topics like, so who's the best athlete, right? Yeah. Is it basketball players? Is it baseball players, football players? I've always said it's hockey players.
Okay.
The reason I say it's hockey players because you have to be a world-class skater before you can even attempt to do the sport. So you have to master two skills, right? Sometimes I think you could have that debate when it comes to hunting. And for me, being around turkey hunting, and I've shared this story before about my father-in-law, is just unbelievable at calling in birds. I get as much enjoyment sitting next to him and watching him call in turkeys as I do sitting with my thoughts, waiting for that big buck to come by the stand.
Sure.
I mean, to be able to get a big gobbler, you guys know this. I mean, and you both call a little bit, Wags. Man, that is a gift. That is a skill to see someone. And, we've seen guys do that with duck and geese and things like that. But, man, turkey hunters and the guys that can really bring those birds in, that's a special skill set, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think when you see these national, and we even have a bunch of state competitions. I've seen them at the wildlife, the WWA events, duck and goose callers and stuff. I've seen that. But when you see these kids I'm talking some of these are kids and adults. They throw those mouthpieces in, and if you close your eyes and you pretend like you can feel the spring chill, it sounds like birds are right out there, whether they're putting, whether they're gobbling, it's just amazing. And nothing against the duck and goose callers who are phenomenal as well. But when you see a person work that turkey call and bring in a bird like that, that to me looks like the true calling.
Yeah, I would like to say that, Wags, you and I got it figured out, but I think we're both pretty open about the fact that we're not great at it, but we're good enough at it to have some sort of communication. I think that's where I really had my eyes open to turkey season, and the love for it is that it's very different from calling in a buck, because there's so much more communication between you and that tom. Interaction, the communication, and to actually work them in and bring them in, it's a very, very different kind of communication than what you have with a buck. Yeah, the buck will grunt or snort wheeze or whatever and come in, but the communication level is just so much greater with turkeys, which makes it so much more fun, I think. Now, do you have to be a great turkey caller to be able to get them to come in? I don't know, but if I was able to get a turkey to come in last year and I didn't really know what I was doing, it was my first time ever calling on my own, I think we'll be all right this year. So we'll see what happens. I think I think our biggest thing, my dilemma here by my place is always the calling can be, let's put it haphazard. We can scrape a box call. We can, scrape a slate. We can do things like that to make it sound good. But my biggest dilemma here is, and this is one that goes out in the turkey world all the time. Do you use a decoy? Do you not use a decoy? Mm-hmm. Do you just use a lone hen, or do you hen and jake it, or do you put two jakes? I'm always afraid that those decoys scare the birds away. But then on the other hand, when a bird skirts the outside of your field and they see something in there, they come in too. So it's just a mixed bag on what your experiences are.
It's interesting you talk about, will a decoy scare them away? Because and you guys know this, my wife's family lives in Florida. So we were down there the last couple of days as well. And my brother-in-law is an avid turkey hunter in Florida. And so he's showing me a video of him. And Eric, you've done this, right? Where you set it up so that when you're calling in the bird or whatever, you can actually watch yourself do this, right? Yeah. Like a post-mortem video. So Wags, he is calling in this turkey, and he's got 3 decoys in front of him, right? He's got the phone camera mounted up in the tree above him. I'm watching this turkey before he shoots him attack in a manner. He's attacking the decoy. Not like, I hate it, but I love this decoy. Yeah. And he goes like, watch this. And we've talked about this before, where decoys are the good, the bad. I mean, I've got turkey decoys. I've used them before, too. Sometimes they work. Sometimes you go afterwards. Man, was this more... was it less help than what I thought it would be? But I'm telling you, watching this video, this turkey was all about that decoy. Well,
and I think that's an interesting. Oh, let me just jump in quick, Wags. I think that's one of the interesting things about turkeys is like, okay. I mean, we're talking about wild animals here, and so a buck mounting a doe or whatever the mating sequence is for a lot of these is always kind of interesting, just to be around that and to experience it and whatever. Yeah. I feel like the turkey mating sequence is so aggressive, and they like stand on the hen's back, and I just don't understand how there's any pleasure that comes out of this. It's really kind of odd. Don't apply. It's kind of odd, honestly. And that's what you're saying. I mean, that's what they do is they'll stand on their backs, or they'll like kind of attack it or peck at it. Or I had to watch it. Just seems violent.
I had to watch this video a couple of times, not because I enjoyed it, but it was to your point. I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, they were doing his thing.
That's what they do.
People are, for their Easter egg hunt tomorrow, They're coming up with alternatives, right? So when I dove into the story, I'm thinking, okay, they just use plastic eggs. Ha ha! You made me click and look at it. Actually, no, it's beyond plastic. Wags, could you imagine giving your daughter or asking her to color potatoes?
Oh my gosh!
Potatoes, onions are two examples.
This is cruel.
Yes. Gourds.
Gourds. Wow.
Yeah. I think we stick with the plastic egg. We'd stick with the plastic eggs around here.
Yeah. I get it, because eggs are whatever they are, $5, $6, whatever they are for a dozen. I understand that, but come on.
Not at the Wagner Ranch, they're not.
Not at my
He's
son's
doing
ranch.
He's doing his own Easter egg on.
Dad, here's a dozen. You got to wash them when you get home, but they're fresh. Good eating.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Yeah,
well, it's just use your plastic eggs that you have in the basement and storage. You don't even have to pay for those. You just got to buy the candy.
I just thought, I mean, when we grew up on the farm, we didn't have a lot of money, right? But even my mom, as thrifty as she was, there's no way she'd dye a potato or an onion or a gourd or something like that. She'd come up with something else. So, but anyway, it's one of those things that just rolled my eyes when I saw it. You never roll your eyes when it comes to Bunzels, and it's not too late, is it, Eric?
No.
If you need some help for Easter Sunday, you got to do it today.
Gotta do it today. So I was looking at their website. They still have their specials up. You're still able to get in there today yet. So if you are in a pinch, or if something happened while you were pre-cooking some of your Easter meal, make sure to swing in there. They have everything ready. So if you do need an Easter ham, or if you do need some sides from their deli, they've got everything there for you. They're still open throughout the day today. So if you need to make an emergency run, you still have a little bit of time. So they're open until 5:00 today. So make sure that if you screwed something up in cooking early, you take a couple minutes to get there.
Do either one of you guys have a big buck knife? Like the big bladed buck knife?
No.
No.
Like buck, like the buck, actual buck knife?
Yeah.
Made by Buck?
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, okay. So I have one.
Okay. Is it like a machete or?
No, it's I have a sheath for it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a good size knife.
Good size, yeah.
It's one of those things I was at, and I forget, it's been years now I've had it. I was at some outdoor show, and I'm like, man, that is cool. You know,
that thing.
And I'm like, I gotta have that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you watch Datelines afterwards. You're like, man, I gotta hide that because I don't want to have my wife.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, of course.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forgot where it was, and so when we were prepping for the hunt at Milford Hills a few weeks back, so I'm in the basement. I've got the gun cabinet, and I'm reaching in the back to get out my shotgun, and all of a sudden, bam! This thing falls out of the top. I look down on my feet, and it's that damn knife. And luckily, I had it
in the sheath.
In the sheath,
Okay.
right? But the reason I'm bringing this up now is because you sent this story to us this week.
Yeah.
About a knife incident that went wrong. We're not talking about a bar fight or something like that. But I was thinking about, because you use these things and you're always careful with them, right? But the damn thing came out of nowhere and again, this is why you don't leave shells in your guns. You know what I'm saying? You keep your knives in sheaths, that type of stuff.
Well, and I think that it just goes back to being smart about what you're doing and always being prepared for anything. You know, at my uncle's cabin, we've got an emergency kit in case something, were to go wrong, or if we needed Neosporin, or we needed, bandages or gauze or something like that. You never know what might happen at deer camp, but this hunter was fortunate enough to get a bull, and he's out. I can't remember, where was this guy at, actually? He was 6 miles deep with no cell service. Okay, so that's enough to be off the grid. That he was trying to, pack out this elk after he had harvested and recovered it. And something happened while he was, prepping this elk to be carted out, he hit one of the major arteries.
Oh, Jesus.
So now he's 6 miles deep. He has no cell service, and he's gushing blood. And he had enough tools and things that he had with him in his pack that he was smart enough to be prepared for. Mm-hmm. He was able to do a makeshift tourniquet. And he actually realized that he had a Bic lighter on him and his knife, and he cauterized the wound himself in the wilderness to seal it. And I don't know, but if it's life or death, I guess you're taking that risk.
Oh, that's
right?
that's like the dude that got caught up, was in an avalanche, Wags. Remember this story where he cut off his arm? He had like a pocket knife. Did you guys hear about He was a hiker, and he had to cut off his arm.
Yeah.
Either that or he was going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to get it out for like 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
And he had to make a decision, a choice. And with no anesthetic, he cut off his arm with a knife, with a pocket knife.
Oh. Yeah, and as I read through this story, you know, he was eventually able to get, there's like there's an emergency SOS via satellite on your iPhone. Apparently it's an emergency setting. He was finally able to text in to 911, and all that he said was help. Tried to keep it short and concise. Well, followed after that was an hour of excruciating waiting. He even filmed a goodbye message for his kids and nearly passed out from blood loss.
Ugh.
When the life flight chopper finally arrived, it flew over him twice, unable to spot him due to his camo blending into the mountainside. So in a last-ditch effort, he kicked off his boots and waved his black socks. It worked. That's how they spotted him. It's just one of those kind of miraculous stories that he lived to be able to tell about it. But man, it just goes to show that you can never be too prepared for what you're getting into, and you never know. I mean, you never know what you're going to need, and you know how much can you actually carry when you're packing 6 miles into a place, and you might need a tent or I don't know, but you just always want to be super cautious. And I'm not saying that this guy wasn't cautious, but it's one of those times that you're just very thankful to be able to live to tell that story.
Oof.
Yeah, gosh. The only thing I could think of when you were saying that, did you ever see the John Wick? I think it was maybe the third chapter, the third one, where he has to cut his ring finger off. He cuts his ring finger off with a chisel. Like he just takes a chisel, a little wood chisel.
Oh my God.
And he comes straight down on top of it, cuts it off. And then the guy takes, like an iron where you brand cattle with, and he literally sticks from that first knuckle of that ring finger onto that, and to close it up and seal it from infection. But you see these things and you wonder, gosh, where in that situation, where is your threshold where you have to actually cut something off? Like you just said, cut an arm off if you're stuck. Like how do you deal with that? Like, do you come to that conclusion and actually go through with it? It's got to be a crazy, crazy experience, and one that I never want to have to deal with.
So should we switch to a more upbeat topic?
Yes.
How about Sandhill Cranes? You want an update?
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
So mid-March, they started activity again up on the hill in Madison. The State Senate, I'm sorry for my voice, State Senate March 7th and State Assembly March 11th, working on a proposal to adopt a Sandhill Crane hunt season in Wisconsin. And the drive behind it is because of damage that the overabundance of birds are doing to crops. Well, the governor is fired back, and that apparently there is, when you plant corn, or certain types of things that the birds are attracted to, that farmers grow for crops, you can put things in there that make it less attractive for them to eat. Paraphrasing here, it kind of makes them sick to their stomach, right? So that will mean then they'll stay away from it, right? Well, now because this has started to pick up steam, I'm not shocked by this. The crane groups are out in full force saying, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Can we create something for farmers? And this is what the governor is proposing, almost $4 million in benefits to farmers that they can apply for if they suffered crop damage by cranes.
But not harvesting.
Not harvesting. The alternative is we'll just give you money and go away because we love our cranes.
So how long does that last for? Because, the crane population is just going to continue to grow in the state, and the crop damage will continue to increase.
We'll just toss more money at it. That's what we'll do.
Right.
That's financially responsible. So why don't we just sell tags and maybe clean up the herd a little bit? Because what was it? The herd increases. What was the number? It was something like 33% each year. It was like some crazy number like that. That it just every year, no matter what the size of it is, it increases by like say 25 or 30% each year. That number is only going to get bigger.
So here's what it is. Evers, Governor Tony Evers, have to be respectful. He's our governor. Has proposed adding $3.7 million each year adding that much to the state budget for and you know this, Wags, because you're a landowner, for an abatement assistance program for corn producers. It will help reimburse producers for the purchase of the seed treatment that discourages the sandhill cranes from eating the seeds. This is what they're advocating now.
I mean, that sounds great in theory. But remember that one guy we were talking to, or we talked about, someone said, there's only 110,000 sandhill cranes in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's 110,000 of them sitting in Pabst Farms. I see them. There's no way.
Now,
there's no way.
Currently, guys, get this. The law that's on the books requires a species to be hunted in order to pay crop damage to farmers.
That's an interesting twist.
So the current law says if there's crop damage by a species, you can hunt them, right? By adding cranes without requiring that a species be hunted would have helped farmers throughout the state much more than, this is a commentary piece I'm reading, much more than a limited hunting season in the fall when damage takes place in the spring. It doesn't matter when it takes place.
Right.
Damage is damage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I see them. We have a resident, a husband and wife that we call Mork and Mindy, and they, we've got this field grass or whatever that the tall kind of brush grass that we have that's in our outlot. And as they work their way through that, and they work their way through our yard right now, and they're looking for grubs or they're looking for seeds or they're looking for whatever. They're not gentle about it. I can see them pecking and ripping up the ground. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to eat. So I understand that, but the damage is
get this.
Noticeable.
Okay. This past Monday, the 14th, the Springs Conservation Congress agenda, one of the things they took up is a discussion involving a conservation stamp to help pay for ag damage caused by cranes.
So they'd rather do that than open a hunting season.
Right. So what they want to do is they want to pay off farmers every year to the tune of about $3.7 million.
Yeah.
Where they're getting that money from, I have no idea. Probably taxing the same
money.
Farmers that they're going to give them the money. So, you know what I mean? Comes in the right hand, goes out the left hand, back in the left hand, out the right hand.
But it looks good because they're being reimbursed.
We're saving them, baby. And then you can buy a stamp, Wags.
There's like 3.7 million. Is this proposal 3.7 million total?
Per year.
We have 3.7 million farmers in the state of Wisconsin. What is that going to do? That's not even I can't even call that putting a Band-Aid on a problem. I remember when the farmers here, they always used to say, you know what, you have to have your crop in by May 10th. If you don't have your corn or beans in by May 10th, every day after May 10th is going to cost you, make up a number, of bushel an acre. I don't know what the number was. But these guys are getting ready. They're turning dirt over right now, and there's turkeys. And these turkeys are crushing farmers, and they have in the past. And that's why the turkey season flourished so well. Even though we were trading pheasants for turkeys or whatever we were doing, we got the turkeys here, but the turkeys are devastating. These cranes are just as bad as the turkeys. I mean, $3.7 million to aid farmer relief and coating a seed. I don't think that's the answer. That's sidestepping the issue and trying to push it down the road.
What's interesting, we go back a few years, 2017. The Conservation Congress asked a question about beginning a crane season, and it won, but just barely, by 300 votes. 2,349 voting yes, 2,049 voting no. It was rejected in some 18 counties. Now you fast forward to 2024. Again, it's a survey. Don't know how many people they surveyed in it. But in this story, it says the UW Survey Center in 2024 found only 17% of state residents would support a sandhill crane season, while 48% opposed it.
So it's still a split issue.
I have no data. I don't know where they did it, where that survey was done.
Yeah, it's not a remedy. I mean, they want to find the money from somewhere, but it's not going to fix the issue, because if this population is 110 this year and it's 140 next year and it's 170 the year after that, the crop damage is only going to increase. It's not going to become less. You know, and if they think that just like coating a seed, well, then we're going to have HHS in here, and we're going to be worried about what is the seed coating going to do to the corn after it's harvested.
Well, here's what I'm fearful of, okay, that someone, once we start using that money to put these seeds together, somehow they're going to find out whatever they seed coated, you know, these seeds with,
right,
or they coated these seeds with, somehow that's going to be harmful in some other area.
Right.
So we may have a bigger problem on our hands.
Yeah, it's getting into the waterways and the aqueducts, and then it's...
Well, and the other thing, too, is that if you're going to coat these seeds with whatever...
Yeah.
Well, sandhill cranes aren't the only ones that eat corn growing up, or that's coming up out of the ground.
Yeah, because the deer are eating it, too, and then the deer aren't getting the nourishment that they need.
Turkeys at the same time, too, right?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, I don't see that being an answer. They're just trying to find different ways to get around it without opening a season.
That's what I thought as well.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah, the coating. Candy coating for cranes, they don't like it, so they won't touch the corn. Let's just use corn or a bean. But turkeys love candy coating, so they're going to crush it.
Yeah.
We hit the ground running in Green Bay on Tuesday. Drew and KB will be at Buffalo Wild Wings on Ashwaubenon. I mean, in their parking lot, you can see the main stage. That's how close they are to it. And we'll be there Tuesday. We'll be there Wednesday. We'll be there Thursday. We'll be there Friday as well. So we're excited about that. So that's going on. Of course, the guys, Abe and Butch, all the shows will originate from Green Bay beginning on Wednesday. We go live with all the shows. And then we have draft night coverage on Thursday night with it's so cool because we get to hang with Wayne Larrabee for 4 days.
Yeah.
Now, Wayne maybe doesn't want to hang with us for 4 days, but we love hanging with Wayne Larrabee, the legend, for 4 days.
You take what you can get, right? Yeah.
Wayne's a blast. It really is.
So I played golf with him in our golf outing that we did a couple years ago, and I still have the placard for the golf cart that says Eric Tasker, Wayne Larrabee.
Do you really?
Yeah, of course I do.
Of course you do.
I had to drive. We haven't played golf together, I don't believe.
Oh, we've been at events together. Folks, I'm going to tell you that Eric Tasker is one of the biggest sandbaggers in the world when it comes to golf. You are, dude, and you know it.
All right.
You are.
So my rule is...
He's a good golfer.
So my rule is I don't drive the cart when I play golf.
That's right.
I don't like to drive the cart. I think other people get kicks out of it. That day, I drove Wayne around. I respected
Did you call him Wayne or Mr. Larrabee?
I think we got to first name basis by the end of it. So, yeah. Yeah, but it was interesting, and I didn't really want to. It's like when we, if we talk to some of our like Wags knows a bunch of guys in the outdoors. It's like, well, you don't really want to. So what's going on with your batting stroke, or what's going on with your pitch count? And you think they don't want to hear that. They want to talk about the good stuff. So I limited my questions to like 2 about actual Packers stuff with him, and everything else was just, how often did you get out and go skiing this year? And, all the things that he actually loves. How's your golf game? What do what's going on with it? And it was a different side of Wayne.
So now, Eric, I don't think you can do this, but I have one of those names that can be spun into Timmy. It's like Jim being Jimmy.
Yeah.
John being Johnny, right?
Yeah.
If you have one of those names, when people say that to you, you hate it, especially when you're an adult, right? When you're 6 years old, they call you Timmy or Johnny or Jimmy, it's okay. But when you're 57 years old,
you don't like that.
Except when Wayne Larrabee refers to me as Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm all in, baby.
Yeah.
Wayne calls me, every once in a while, Timmy, I'm like, God, it's Wayne Larrabee calling me Timmy. It's okay. It's all good. I got no complaints with it.
Oh, that's great.
So it's going to be fun. All brought to us by our friends at Pep's Pizza. And we'll get cranking actually beginning Monday. We'll, all of our draft coverage. Fingers crossed, Matt LaFleur is going to join us on Tuesday morning with Zabe and Butchie. It should be a lot of fun, so we're looking forward to that.
That is great.
It is crazy, crazy time, but we're in the final segment of Tailgate Talk, and you're thinking, so where did the Paul Wagner go? He had to dip out a little bit early in the show today. Had some stuff going on with the fam, so we wished him and his girls and the entire clan a happy Easter. We do that to all of you listening out there, all 7 of you. Hopefully we'll get to 8, maybe double digits eventually in the show.
Soon enough.
That's our goal. But so we have a few things in aisle 4 you want to clean up on, right?
So so for our Madison listeners, so me and the Paul Wagner are going to be out in your neck of the woods next week at the Stoughton Conservation Club. So our friends at HHA do this every year. And it's actually HHA USA, the nonprofit side of their business, is they call them missions. So they do these fundraising events where it's actually a 3D archery shoot. There's $15,000 in raffle prizes.
Oh, that's cool.
And this one, because it's in the Madison area, or Stoughton, is actually in partnership with Vortex Optics. So we're going to get a chance to meet some of the guys at Vortex. We're going to hang out with our buddy Chris Ham this upcoming Friday. And what they do is they actually open it up first to either VIP invites or service members, because what it is that anybody, either active duty or veterans, they always offer spots to them for free.
That's cool.
You can also register to actually do the 3D shoot on Saturday or Sunday. It's $30 for adults. It's $15 for 17 and under. And you can find all the information at hhausa.org. And this one is Mission 35. So they call each day that they have these events, it's Mission 35. Then Sunday is Mission 36. And you can also see their schedule for all of the events throughout the year.
So it's like UFC.
Pretty much.
Like UFC 127.
Yeah.
Diaz against Montoya.
And so what we didn't realize, and Wags and I got to spend some time with Chris in December, and so they've actually done this to pay for honor flights. All of the money goes back to paying and helping pay for the cost of honor flights.
Have you ever done an honor flight?
I haven't.
I know a guy that if you want to go.
Yeah.
I've done them. Heller's done them.
Wags
did
was
one.
at a reception, I think, for
so
one.
I've actually did one. My title, get this. I was the wheelchair wrangler.
Oh.
Meaning that I took him on the bus and I took him off the bus.
Yeah.
It is one of the most amazing things I was lucky enough to be asked to do my entire career. I really, really urge you, Eric, if you want to do this.
Yeah.
I know a guy that does the honor flights out of Madison. His name is Brian Ziegler.
Okay.
Kills it every year. He's just an awesome dude.
Awesome.
Been doing it for a long, long time, and maybe we can find you a spot.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I just got an email from him about
awesome.
it. So
yeah.
Brian would be a good guy to have on the show, too.
So one of the things that they're starting to experience now, so with HHA being out of Wisconsin Rapids, they've done a lot with like Fox Valley, Appleton kind of area. A couple years ago, they wrote a check for like $90,000 to pay for the entire flight from these events that they do. Super, super cool. So one of the things that we found out from Chris is that, obviously World War II and all of those original intended or the original intention of the honor flights was to get all of the World War II people to Washington, D.C. to see the memorial. Well, there's not many of them left anymore.
No.
And then they're going to the Korean War.
There was a guy this week at the Brewers game. What was the day game this week against the Tigers? Was that Wednesday?
It was like 105.
He was 105 years old. He's one of the last surviving members.
Crazy.
Was it Pearl Harbor?
I'm not sure. I did see that. I saw the picture of him on the field in the wheelchair. And so the upcoming shift will then be for GWAT, which is the new term, Global War on Terrorism. So this is all of our 9/11 veterans that will start to go on these trips, and they are actually they go to New York City and they see the memorial of the Twin Towers. But, to get to see these guys and to be a part of this and, just kind of sharing that experience is something that Wags and I are really looking forward to. So I got to get my bird on Wednesday or Thursday because this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I also took off for Monday. So we're going to just have to kind of.
So you got a backup plan.
Play it by ear and see what happens here. So that is definitely one thing. And then, I wanted to just also mention quick, we always gripe and we have our platform that we're able to kind of share and talk about things that are concerning to us or that we can complain about not having a sandhill crane hunt. All of the deer advisory councils, all of those meetings are coming up. So Waukesha County, that one is April 21st. Okay. So that is Monday or Tuesday. Washington County is April 30th, which is shared with Ozaukee County. Milwaukee's is April 24th. And then let's see, Dane County is April 22nd. So you can find this list. The DNR, actually, if you've bought a license, I believe you just automatically get put on their list.